Many thanks for joining us again on the newsroom. I am Annetta Felix. President Muhammadu Buhari has written the House of Representatives to seek approval for the 2021 to 2023 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. Rep Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila read the President's letter at the opening of plenary on Tuesday. The Federal Executive Council had on Wednesday approved the MTAF FSP with a 12.66 trillion naira budget projection for each of the 3 fiscal years. Minister of State for Finance, Budget and National Planning, Clement Agba, had listed other projections in the budget to include $40 per barrel oil benchmark, oil production volume of 1.6 million barrels per day, inflation rate of 11.9%, projected gross domestic growth rate of 3%, and a revenue target of 7.50 trillion naira. House of Representatives has asked the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, to publish within 48 hours members of the 9th National Assembly who got contracts from the Niger Delta Development Commission. Rep Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila gave the order while ruling on the matter of privileges brought by Minority Leader Undudi Elumelu. He charged Akpabio to name the lawmakers, their companies, the contracts they got, or face the full wrath of the law. Gbajabiamila stressed that the minister owes it a duty to himself, the House Committee on Niger Delta, the people of the Niger Delta, and Nigerians to publish the names of lawmakers who received contracts from the NDDC. The Senate has asked service chiefs to step aside following the killings of soldiers who are fighting insurgency and banditry in some parts of northern Nigeria. The order follows a motion brought to the floor of the Senate via a point of order moved by the chairman of its Committee on Army, Senator Ali Ndume. Those who contributed to the motion lamented the implication of the disturbing development, stressing that it was capable of frustrating the war against insurgency and banditry. Subsequently, Vice Chairman of the Senate Committee on Customs, Senator Ayo Ifadaunsi, proposed an additional prayer that demanded the stepping aside of the service chiefs, and his prayer was seconded by Senator Betty Apifi. The Senate has now gone into an emergency closed-door session to discuss the outcome of the meeting between President Muhammadu Buhari and the presiding officers of the National Assembly last Thursday. Last week, Minority Leader of the Upper Chamber, Senator Eyinaya Abaribe, had told newsmen that the Senate would take an official position on the decision by the Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Festus Keyamo, and that's to flout its decision on the recruitment of 774,000 federal workers. He said the senators were expecting the Senate President Ahmed Lawan to brief them on the outcome of Thursday's meeting between the presiding officers of the National Assembly and the President on the issue. The Federal Parliament had suspended the Public Works Programme following a disagreement between its Committee on Labour and Keyamo. But the minister later on went ahead to kick off the programme, saying he received permission from the President. Let's now take a break here to return with COVID-19 updates around the world.
Now believe this corona, you know, fit touch black man. If you like, gather the whole Niger, come together, make the cough. Nothing.
Which one you want?
Give me V and D.
I better get small pieces.
How much you want to give him?
Give me 200. Take your change now. You don't want your changes.
My people, this coronavirus, na serious matter. May una wash your hands regularly. Come use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. If you no see water, wash your hand. Make una sit down for house. You see this virus, so e no get leg. Now we dey waka kurukere. No waka around, make the virus for die. No forget, say the betterment of our people. Now for your handy day.
This message is from the Akinfade Foundation in partnership with the National Orientation Agency with support from MacArthur Foundation.
The Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Dingyadi, has gone into self-isolation. This follows his meeting with the Foreign Affairs Minister, Geoffrey Oyema, who tested positive for COVID-19. Police Affairs Ministry spokesman Sheyi Odutayo said the Minister of Police Affairs has gone into self-isolation in compliance with the NCDC guidelines. Now, almost 4 months after Nigeria recorded its first COVID-19 related death, over 800 people have now died from the disease across the country. With 12 new fatalities, a total of 801 persons have now died from COVID-19 related complications in 35 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, also announced that 562 new cases of COVID-19 have been recorded in 20 states and the FCT, and that's in a tweet on its official Twitter handle on Monday night. A total of 228 people have also been discharged, with 37,225 persons confirmed contracted with the virus. Nuhu Gura, a member of the Kaduna State House of Assembly representing Kagaku constituency, has tested positive for COVID-19. The lawmaker, who disclosed his COVID-19 status on Tuesday in a statement, said he's been moved to an isolation center in Kaduna. He said that he invited officials of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control to his house to take samples of himself and that of his members of the family last Friday. According to him, while members of his family and aides tested negative, he tested positive for COVID-19. About 60 people who defaulted the federal government advisory on the compulsory use of face masks have been arrested. The Ekiti State COVID-19 Task Force says it arrested the offenders and charged them to a special court where they were convicted of contravening the state's COVID-19 regulations 2020. Chairman of the state COVID-19 Task Force, Bolaji Aloko, expressed concern over the refusal of some citizens to wear face masks, saying the enforcement will be a regular exercise. The Ekiti State government announced the compulsory use of face masks on Monday to curb the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. So far in Ekiti, a total of 88 cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed, with 47 recoveries and 2 deaths. European Union leaders have agreed to a €750 billion rescue plan for economies that are left shattered by the COVID-19 epidemic. EU Council Chief Charles Michel dubbed the summit a marathon that ended in a success for all 27 member states, but especially for the people. The package will send tens of billions of euros to countries hardest hit by the virus, most notably Spain and Italy. Let's take a break here to return with updates on business and more.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. 2 of us.
Thank you very much, officer. You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no. You don't need to do this. We are only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey. Okay, which came out with this one? I don't understand.
You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. All forms of corruption in the force. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Fitch Ratings has said the COVID-19 pandemic and the oil price shock have caused a severe impact on credit rating in Nigeria and some other sub-Saharan African countries. It stated this in its report on Monday titled Outlook on Sub-Saharan Sovereigns is Negative. The report said Fitch forecasts the median real gross domestic product for rated SSA sovereigns will contract by 2.1% in 2020 before returning to growth at 4% in 2021, which is barely above the trend growth. It noted that the COVID-19 pandemic and the oil price shock it triggered had a severe impact on sovereigns in the sub-Saharan Africa, which led to rating downgrades on 7 of the 19 rated SSA sovereigns since the beginning of March 2020. According to Fitch, the fall in revenue combined with additional spending from the healthcare sector would lead to a surge in deficits and debt levels in 2020, and that debt will continue to rise in 2021 for a majority of countries. Uganda's long-serving President Yoweri Museveni is seeking a new term in office, which could potentially extend his rule to 4 decades. Spokesman for the ruling National Resistance Movement said Museveni has picked nomination forms for the flag-bearer position in next year's presidential election and that no one else had yet shown up to contest with him within the party. Museveni has been in office since 1986 and has won 5 presidential elections. In 2017, Uganda's parliament, dominated by NRM lawmakers, removed an age cap from the constitution, allowing Museveni to seek another term. His strongest opponent, presidential aspirant, is 38-year-old pop star and lawmaker Bobby Wine. Nigeria's Rivers Angels have confirmed that Spanish Reto Ibadola club Rosabense have approached them over the transfer of Super Falcons duo Evelyn Nwabuku and Tochukwu Oluehi. The confirmation comes less than 2 weeks after the country's Women's Football League champions denied the sale of the duo to the Spanish club. The club had announced the purchase of Nwabuku and Oluehi, but Angels stated that neither the club nor their agents contacted them over the sale of their players. However, in a tweet on Sunday, Angels confirmed offers had been made for the services of the duo. And that's it at this time on the newsroom. I am Anetta Felix. Many thanks for watching.